Well, Ann, thanks for setting this up with us so we can talk broadly to the congregation about the strategic plan and how it's unfolding. So just a little historical perspective. In August 2012, we as a council and as an executive committee realized we didn't know where we were going in terms of what the future looked like. We had acted out on a strategic plan that had been developed 10 years earlier, and it was time for us to reconsider who we were, what we were to become, and the big challenge was to figure out how we were going to do it. And I thought, coming from a corporate world, the way many of us do in the congregation, that we just lay out the paper, get the deck handed off, and we'd be done. And much to my surprise and delight, that has not been the case. And as we advanced it forward, and many people will recall that at the June meeting, we gave approval to proceed to phase 2, a kind of a mysterious phase 2 for the strategic plan. And that's where Jeanne came in and said, I think I know and can see a path to handle this. And that's where it's going to get very exciting for September, October, November, and on through 2014 as we face the wonderful opportunity to address who we are, re-engage ourselves as a congregation, and look ahead to changes in leadership all around. So lots of fun things happening.
Yes, yeah. So there were a group of us, the design sub-team well, there were many sub-teams, but one of them, the design sub-team in particular, worked on what the sort of congregational elements of phase 2 were going to be. And we looked at the strategic imperatives. There were 2 strategic imperatives that we talked about. One was how we as WCC be a more vibrant and energized congregation, how we were going to do that. And the second one was about planning for leadership transitions. So we really focused on the first one and how, as a congregation, we could really amp up what we were doing. And we spent lots of time this summer working on.
Well, so I can speak because I did not work on the design team, partly because I thought it'd be way too complex for my brain, and also because it was Jeanne and the pastors and Ken Guy and Leanne Pope and Andy K. Taylor, other people who really had a sense of where we could go with this. And as it unfolded, they would check in with the steering committee, and as those check-ins evolved, particularly in July and early August, I was astounded by the end product and just the sheer excitement of what we're facing going forward, but also the amount of work they put in. So I can validate.
It was great, but it was great work. It was great work. So what we really need to have happen in the fall is for everybody to continue the engagement that we had in the first part, in phase 1 of doing our strategic planning, to really become a part of the voice, the collaborative voice that we will have about what phase 2 is going to be. So it's essentially a 12-week program that starts with thinking about who we are in terms of our faith, and then gets into why do we go to church, what is it that we're here for church about, and then how does that translate into who we want to be at WCC as a congregation. And there are multiple elements. So in addition to worship every week, which is themed all the way through around this idea of the thread and how we're woven together based on a poem that Joe Shank found that was quite inspirational to the design committee. We also have an individual devotion booklet so people can follow along and explore what their faith is really about. We also have small groups that we've asked to meet 4 times during the 12-week period to talk about some of the issues that the Strategic Planning Committee was wrestling with, where we particularly want more input to be able to take the strategic plan forward. And then we'll do some great fellowship things. We also have some service activities. The adult ed program has been built around what's going to be happening during worship and as part of the individual devotion and small groups. So it's really going to be an exciting fall.
So what happens from this, and what I love about this, is most strategic plans, they are delivered on paper and people kind of know what they should do and it guides them, let's say. Right. But it's more talk and not as much action. This is all action with an end product that gets us to a redefinition of who we are as a church, which will be very important, again, as we look at pastoral change, because we're all facing that reality within our church. And future pastors are going to want to know, who are you guys? Where are you going? What do you believe in? How do you engage as a congregation? Those are the questions we'll be asking ourselves. So this is a wonderful regeneration period that we're looking forward to.
It's going to be great. And the communications team this week came up with our great new tagline. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's
I know it's not my warp and weave, but I know it's a lot of threads and fabric coming up.
Right, but it's weaving yourself into the fabric of WCC. And what's really important about fabric and weaving is that all of the threads are important and all of the voices in WCC are really important. And we want everybody's voice to be heard.
And as Jeanne pointed out, with all the different opportunities from worship to fellowship to even men's fellowship is going to get behind this. Brats, beers, and thinking about the future of this church will occur on a couple of Fridays in the fall.
Yeah.
We'll all have an opportunity for our voice to be heard. So it's a great time for people to come out, to engage, to voice an opinion, or to simply act on something. This will be more about doing as much as it is about thinking.
Great.